let's move on to something else. And in this era of remakes and redos and reboots and adding additions onto franchises, I mean, just like listen to this. I mean, think about these movies in the past couple of years. You have Star Trek rebooted itself. You have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot. Power Rangers is about to reboot itself. Sin City's adding on. Star Wars is adding on. I mean, you have all these different franchises either adding on or rebooting their franchise. I decided we should make a list of what we want to see either remade or added onto.
In movies.
In movies, yeah. Just in movies. Only movies. But I'm going to start off with my first one, and this is, I think almost everybody in the world would agree with me. They need to remake number 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars because those sucked. They need to get some decent actors. Now, Obi-Wan was pretty cool. I'm pretty cool with Samuel L. Jackson being Mace Windu, but everybody else really, really didn't do very well.
Now, I'm going to disagree with you on that for this reason. Not on the reason why. It's because history has shown the longer we let Star Wars get remade, the worse it gets.
That is true. So we don't want it. Well, let's give it to J.J. Abrams like they've given the new 3 to. So I trust J.J. Abrams. He's on the cutting edge of all that stuff. He does great sci-fi stuff. He did the Star Trek reboots. I would trust him to redo it. Now, of course, they're not going to because these movies aren't even 10 years old yet. But like I said, this is our wish. Right. So let's go to one of yours. Give us one of yours.
X-Men 3.
The X-Men 3. Yes, sir. It had potential.
Yeah, well, the way X-Men 2 ended, I was so excited for X-Men 3. Mm-hmm. You saw the indications that Phoenix was going to be in there. Yep. Knew some of the background of Phoenix. You know, there's the edginess, but the good, and all these great things that were coming. And they gave you Phoenix, but not the storyline, the way they used Phoenix was not what I was hoping for. Like
they gave you the crappiest Phoenix ever. I mean, they screwed that movie up. Brett Ratner, we talked about it last week, is not the best with some of these franchises. They killed that franchise. You kill Cyclops, one of the main characters of every X-Men episode storyline ever, in the first 5 minutes. You bring back Phoenix, and she really doesn't have a brain. For some reason, she's listening to Magneto and not anybody else. I mean,
there's the stuff about the guy that can get rid of mutant powers, and that's big. And that was could have been interesting with the whole curing of the mutants and that struggle, but it wasn't really executed very well.
Horrible.
And they screwed up something like Juggernaut loses his powers. Apparently, Juggernaut's not a mutant.
Yeah, no, he's not. He got his powers from a gem.
Yeah, and that's why he hates mutants. He always hated mutants, and he's not a mutant. He whatever. But fine, whatever. That's maybe nitpicking, but just the execution.
No, it's not nitpicking. Great. You are totally correct. It was a horrible movie, and it just. I mean, after X-Men 2 left you on such a high, it just brought you down to depths that we didn't think existed. And then X-Men Wolverine
Nightcrawler wasn't even there to redeem it. You didn't even have Nightcrawler, who was my favorite character. He refused to join it, at least without more money, which now, after you see it, you can understand why he demanded more money to be in that.
He's like, pay me if I'm going to put my name on this piece of crap. So, hey. And another movie, this is actually one that I would like to see added on to, and it is started as a TV show, and you might know it as Firefly, one of the greatest TV shows that only lasted 11 episodes. I don't know what happened. It was a really, really good show. But then the movie came out, one of my most favorite movies of all time, and you really don't need to see the show to see the movie. Most favorite. Most favoritist. But that is Serenity came out. And so, whether they bring out the TV show again, I could see another movie happening. That would be awesome because, who's it? Nathan Fillion. Great actor. Joss Whedon, he did great stuff with the Avengers. He's a talented guy. I think he could. Yeah, I think there's a little bit more room in that universe of Firefly to make a return run.
Cool.
Give us one of yours.
All right, you might see some parallels here, but Matrix Revolutions.
Yeah. Actually, was that the second or third movie?
That was the third.
I like the third. The second one I thought sucked. I like the third all right.
Honestly, well, I didn't mind it as much as some people I know hate it, because some people will deny the existence of the second two movies.
It did not happen.
I personally enjoyed them. Like, I can see the first one was better, and there were some bad points about the second two. But really, what I would like to see happen is what I thought the second movie was setting up, and what I thought the third movie was going to be. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third movie was setting up the second movie. And I think the third mov which I thought was much more of an interesting concept than what they went with, which would be it turning out that the matrix, the outer world, the outside the matrix, was actually inside another matrix.
That might have been pretty cool.
Yeah, there was like
The
layers and
Inception levels.
yeah,
That would have been
exactly.
pretty cool.
I
Yeah.
I honestly think that maybe Inception got the idea from that being something indicated because they at the end of the second movie they show Neo using his powers outside the Matrix to destroy some of the machines,
Hmm.
and there's two possibilities there. One, he just has these superpowers outside, or he's actually still in the Matrix or a Matrix, right?
He's in the
But they didn't
Matrix's
even do anything with
Matrix.
it. They didn't. I don't even remember him
They
destroying machines
decided
with his mind again.
They decided to no, he does it towards the very
Yeah,
end
but
when he's all blind and everything.
yeah,
But
okay.
I mean,
It's not a big
they
deal.
decided to try to make it into a Jesus parallel story where he's a martyr, and it just didn't work. You're right. The Wachowski brothers built a great franchise with number one. I think they tried to throw too many twists and turns into number two, and then number three just fell short. So
Yeah, so that's why I would like to see that remade with changing up the storyline kind of significantly to incorporate something more interesting than the way that they went with it. You
yeah,
know,
no, I'm
and
with you. I agree.
I personally like the idea of the layers of matrices that if this is no one knows how long they've been in there, maybe it's a layered matrix because the last one iteration they let the matrix play out so long that history repeats itself within the matrix.
So there
And
you go. So yeah,
yeah, or
so that'd
whatever
be
the
cool.
case may be.
Moving on to the next movie, I would like to see, and I would just like to see this one, the old one totally thrown away, and the new one just remade, and that is Wanted, and that is because this is the source material was supposed to be this graphic novel called Wanted, which is one of the coolest graphic novels ever. If you haven't read it, go ahead and read it because if you think it's anything like the movie, it's not. It is an amazing graphic novel. Instead of being part of a fraternity of assassins who save the world by killing one person at a time, he's actually part of the fraternity of supervillains who just kill everybody and rule everything. So it's
Sure, why not?
a lot cooler that way because they live in one of those parallel universes where all the villains won. So I would love to see it that way because the whole my dad might have died, then he's protecting me, and then it's crap. Let's go with the graphic novel. You had great source material. Why you didn't use it, I'll never know.
Hmm.
So what's your
Yeah.
next one?
The last one is one that I would really like to see added on to, especially since there had been plans to continue this series, and that's the Unbreakable series, from
Hmm?
which is not really a series because they only made one.
Yeah,
But it
but
was
they set him
supposed
up
to.
to be a superhero.
Yes, and what I had heard was there was plans for it to turn into a trilogy.
Hmm.
And there was even agreements, like Samuel L. Jackson, I think, agreed to do it, and Bruce Willis agreed to come back for this trilogy. That never happened. Um,
Shyamalan didn't ever get it done, huh?
yeah, well, he moved on to other projects,
Which all
which,
sucked.
yeah, well, they didn't do as well for him anyway. Um,
After Unbreakable, he was pretty much downhill.
yeah, well, that's the feeling of a lot of the populace. And to be fair, a lot of people didn't even really aren't even aware of Unbreakable as much. Like, I don't know, it didn't make as big of a splash.
I thought that
But
was
it's
another one of his great surprise endings.
no,
You
that's
know,
honestly one of his best movies, like technical wise. It's one of the best stories of any movie out there. The best setups, the best technique used for the filmmaking, everything. It was a great, like that was really, I think, his masterpiece.
yeah.
But
So
it kind of flew under the radar.
hmm,
Um,
you
and
know,
they
there's some.
never ended up making the sequels, which I would have loved to see because that was essentially an origin movie, and we all know that or for a superhero origin movie, but a much more realistic, gritty kind. But we all know the second one of these superhero movies always turns out better because now you don't have to deal with the origin stuff. Now you can really get
Yeah,
into it.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That is usually the best. But so those are our movies that we'd like to see either remade or added onto. So if you have a couple movies that you'd like to have remade or added onto, let us know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear some more ideas because there's plenty of movies just that have great source material that never got made right or that just haven't ever been completed, like Unbreakable. So let us know what you think, and you can always hit us up on Twitter too. So